This meeting is being recorded.
Hi, everyone. My name is Nico, and I use he, him pronouns. I'm a white man with parted blonde hair, a blue sweater, and large blue and brown spectacles. I'm seated in front of a purple wall and some bookcases. And like about 20% of the global population, I'm disabled. Non-disabled people might see our lives and experiences as tragic, flawed, pitiful, but I don't know, guys. I've been disabled a pretty long time now, and I think there's also room for disabled joy. The disability community has as many members as it has opinions, which is why I've asked my friend Morgan here with me today to talk about disabled joy. Hi, Morgan, how are you?
Hi, I'm doing well, thank you.
Fantastic. Can you share a joyful memory with me? It could have to do with your disability, or it could be totally separate. Both are valid.
Well, this past spring in late March, I actually learned how to run for the first time. So I've been working with my two trainers from local gym and the neuroplasticity in my brain. Being diagnosed with cerebral palsy, my brain just figured out how to start sprinting this past spring. So I've been working on that, and it's been a very joyful experience.
That's fantastic. I'm so happy for you. How are you liking running and finding out about that world?
I enjoy it very much. I think it's deeply tied into individuals' mental health as well. It's definitely helped for me in that area too. So I'm just learning and growing every day, and it's super exciting.
That's fantastic. Thank you. My next question is one that you kind of thematically have touched on. How has your disability intersected with or impacted your ability to pursue your own joys or to pursue happiness for yourself?
Well, I think I was raised amongst a great family and have amazing friends, and definitely always was given the opportunity to try things. And I think the thing that separates joy from what most people would consider disability with suffering, that contrast. There's very high highs, like moments like this, where I get to share my experience with others. And there's very low lows where you have to sacrifice the things that everyone else gets. Like, I still went to prom, but my prom experience was different. I was still a cheerleader growing up, but that experience was still different. And so those complete contrasts of what people might think when, I talk to my parents, and what people might think when their baby is first born versus what your needs are as you grow and how those things change. For me, joy has always been at the forefront of my diagnosis, and seeing the beauty in everything and being grateful for things. And so I just find even the smallest amount in the hardest of times.
Thank you, Morgan. I can tell how much that joy-focused mindset means to you and the skills it gives you throughout life. That's really fantastic. So I know that you've been disabled a really long time, much like myself. And this means that this next question is going to be very difficult, right? We have to pick only one thing that we want the rest of the world to know about disabled life or about disabled quality of life.
I would say that it's not always about the suffering. I think the media and, accommodation portrays that those things are something that we labeled as the disabled population should, either medically try to fix, either charitably try to tend to, or socially, the verbiage that comes from it. Versus now, a lot of people, including myself, are a lot better at identifying firstly with who they are as individuals. And I like to tell people, I do identify as disabled, but I'm not suffering. I live with the two conditions that I have, and I'm just among all of that information. I'm still a human being at heart, so you're living with it. You're not necessarily suffering from it. At times it's insufferable. That's very valid. But the contrast of we're just all adapting and living life the way that our cards were handed to us. So I think that's the most important, that it's not necessarily the person that becomes disabled, but it's more of society and culture and education of that viewpoint that not everybody's sad, not everybody's heartbroken. It's different. That's true. It's very different, but it doesn't mean that you are sad all the time. A lot of people are very well adjusted to the way that they live their lives, because I would say a majority of us, not everybody, but a majority of people, once it becomes a part of their life, you just adapt to how things are for yourself and what works for you or the individuals that are affected by it.
Morgan, thank you. I can tell that you're very good at conveying even complex strands of thought very capably. That's a really great skill. I appreciate that. My last planned question is one that I have for all of my interviewees, regardless of project. Is there a reason to win that you're celebrating, that you want to name so that we can celebrate along with you? Or if not, are there any cool projects that you have going on? If you're open to connecting, where can people find you online? This question is your space to promote yourself, brag about yourself, really be your own cheerleader, as I understand you were.
Yeah.
Yes.
I just recently learned how to jump as of like a week ago. So that is very cool. You can follow me at Your Hot Disabled Bestie on Instagram. I just started it back in October when I left corporate to focus more on what I've done since a young adult. My earliest interview was at the age of 2, and at 14 I grew into, the circuit of nonprofits and working with brands and companies. So you can find me there on Instagram, and it's kind of just your Dear Abby diversified from a disabled perspective. So I answer questions, I show everybody about my life and things that people ask me, and the fact that I'm, a daughter, a sister, an aunt, an athlete, a friend, and hopefully one day, haven't found Mr. Right yet, but hopefully one day a spouse and a mom, because those are dreams I have for myself too. So that's where I share a majority of my journey, and then I have LinkedIn and all that kind of stuff, and I can pass along that information to you.
That's awesome. Morgan, thank you so much. I'm hoping the best for you, and hoping the best as you explore this jumping, running world.
Yeah.
Fantastic. Thank you again. Audience,
you.
tune in next time. I'm rooting for you.